Hello, hi. Basically, today we're going to be doing basic market insights, and we're going to be analyzing XAUUSD gold together, and we're going to be uh, analyzing main projection of the market, the main projection of the market's reactions we've had this week, and where our mind should be focused on tomorrow, or probably for those that are still trading, that are still going to trade today, where our mind should be focused on. But the main move this week and the basic interpretation of the move this week and what we have been seeing lately. So that's the basic thing we are going to be doing. And we're mainly going to be focusing on top-down analysis, which is why you can see my time frame right here on the daily. So currently we're on the daily time frame here. I'm trying to just go. Yeah, I feel more comfortable using this. Okay, doing this way. So right here, you can see on the daily time frame that market has basically been trending or consolidating between this zone rather. We have not been having uh proper trend like okay, market has just been going high, market has just been coming down. But within this move right here is a whole lot of is more than a month. Is a movement of more than 1 month. This right here is a movement that took more than a month. That took more than a month. So let's go down to the 4 hours time frame and basically look at what gold has been doing and how the interpretation of the move that we've had this week and where we should actually be expected to capitalize on. Now on the daily time frame, let me go back to the daily time frame. Okay. Let me go back to the daily time frame. On a daily time frame, it's actually better to mark out your swing highs and lows on the in the higher time frame. But I feel marking out this okay, yeah, it's better to mark it out on your higher time frame. And right here, we've had this high. The market has been consolidating between for a very long period of time. And we also have this significant low right here. We have this significant low. The market has been consolidating between as well for quite some time now. Market has been consolidating between this significant zone. I can see right here, you can see how serious the move has been. And we had a break right here, but market was unable to sustain. The sellers came in and they sold the market back down. And the buyers are also preventing markets from going below this zone right here that we have marked out on the chart. So let's go to the 4 hours and look at the markets in real time, what actually happened today, and what should our mindsets be mainly focused on. Let me remove this for now. I feel I actually want to focus on the current trend. Yeah. But at least I've been able to identify the main our zone, like where the market has been consolidating in between. Now, looking at this on this 4 hours time frame, we can see right here that we've had and what formulates a downtrend or an uptrend. For a downtrend, you start to see what series of lows, lower low. Let me let me try to make this a bit. Let me try to make it black so you're able to actually get this clearly. Okay, let me draw this again. Okay, what formulates a downtrend? Series of lower highs and lower lows. Right here we have a low, we have a lower high because this low right here is lower than this previous high. We had another low, we have a lower high right here, we have a lower low, we have a lower high, we have a lower low, we have a lower high right here. And right the lower low, and we're unable to have another lower high. And you can see right here we have a new high right here, but it was this high we have another lower high right here. But we're unable to have a lower low, rather. We're unable to have a lower low. And we now have what? A new low, which is higher than this previous low. So this is an higher low. And we started having what? Series of higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, equal high, higher high, higher high. And now we are currently seeing series of downtrends in the market. But this downtrend right here is unable to break this previous resistance level that we have significant right here. And that's actually passing the message and it's giving us the idea of what we should actually be focusing our attention on and the move we should actually be expecting from gold this week. The move we should actually be expecting on gold tomorrow. What we should be actually expecting on gold? Today is Thursday, so basically what we should be expecting on gold tomorrow. I know on Friday, you study the markets very well. We tend to see some real movements in the market. We tend to see the market closing its trend and giving new spikes up and down. And basically, tomorrow we have some news coming up tomorrow as well. As you can see on my chart right here, below right here, you can see these events in the indications right here. So we have some high impact news coming up tomorrow. So we should expect crazy and massive volatility in the market tomorrow. We should expect massive volatility in the market tomorrow. So now, what are we basically expecting? When you go to your higher time frame, the major reason for going to your higher time frame is to do what? To have the basic understanding of your swing highs and your swing low. Let me have that typed right here. So going to the higher time frame gives you the basic idea of what? Of your swing highs, of your remarkable swing highs, and your what? And your swing lows. So this is the main advantage with going to the higher time frame. It gives you what? The overview of what market is doing in real time. It gives you the overview of what the market, of those little movements that we've actually been seeing. And it is always much more better to mark out what your swing highs or mark out your levels rather. Anyhow you want to call it. Some people call it is either is a swing high, we have swing highs, we have swing low. You can also term it however you want to term it, support and resistance, your demand and your supply zone. Just however, so it is better to actually mark out your levels on the higher time frame. Going to the higher time frame gives you a basic idea of what the market is doing and where it's heading. And when you see like rejection patterns on the higher time frame, you should definitely bank on it because it actually means a lot. You should definitely do what? Bank on it. So right here, let's try to mark out our significant zones right here. And probably that will be the basis. Not probably, that will be the basis of our decision making. So we had a we had the resistance level right here that ended up becoming a support. The market has been ranging the market has been ranging between. You can see right here, you can see how significant this was a resistance level, but immediately markets broke it, it automatically becomes what? A support level. It automatically becomes what? It automatically becomes a support. It automatically this right here. It automatically becomes a support, and you see the reactions when market goes to that level. Market retested that level, gave us move to the upside. The sellers came in again. They didn't want the market to continue buying. The sellers came in again, they sold and brought the market back to this zone. The buyers came in, they were unable to get volatility and they sold below this area, but it wasn't sustainable. I can just see the power tussle between the buyers and the sellers. That's just the main idea. You can, on the higher time frame, you'll be able to understand the power tussle between the buyers and the seller, and you'll be able to understand who is in control right now. And that's what we're actually going to be doing now. We are going to be explaining that. And we're actually going to be having the basic understanding of who is in control, who is in control of the markets presently. Presently. And it's always better to follow uh who is actually in control. It's actually way more better to follow who is in control because that gives us uh a better chance. That gives us a better probability in the markets. So right here you can see the sellers brought the price back below here. They did a mini retest right at this level, and they were able to successfully break this resistance level. And what was the main reason why the buyers came in from here? And what was the main reason why the market started buying from here? Why? Because there was a significant level, and we had a lot. For market to start buying from here, it means we had a lot of buyers resting at this level. And why were they resting at this level? That is where the significance of marking levels or zones comes in. That's where the significance of marking levels or zones comes in. And you can see right here, what did they do? They brought the price, maybe the price got to this level, and you can see this level right here was a significant resistance level that markets broke and also became a support. So he's making this resistance level right here became what? A support. You can see immediately price came to that level, the buyers came in and they were able to buy above that level. And now we had this spike that came down here again today, and immediately the price broke below this area again. Initially, we would have been expecting to do what? We would have been expecting more sellers in the market by expecting market price to give us a retest at that level and continuous movement to the downside. But what happened? What did we see again? We saw another break to the upside. We saw that price broke that level to the top side again. And now, what are we basically expecting right now? What are we expecting in the market? So, what are we basically expecting in the market right now? That's what we're actually going to be figuring out together. So, let's just try to mark out our significance levels. That's one of the main things I actually want us to focus on right here on the higher time frame. Try to mark out your swing highs and your swing lows and your significance levels that you expect reactions, that you expect market to give reactions whenever it comes in. Imagine having this zone marked out. I knew market was going to definitely give reactions at this level because that level is actually very, very significant. And for those that trade pattern, like I do, this is the neckline of a W pattern on the 4 hours time frame. You see how significant that is. And that is why we had this crazy spike from this area. Immediately the market touched that level. Are you with me now? So, okay. So you can see immediately market brought to that level. You can see just the top of that. And how significant is this level? If you see right here, let me delete this. If you see right here, this resistance level was once a support. You can see that this was its previous support level, and market broke it. That support level became a resistance for this movement, for this little movement that came to this downside, right? This is what I'm talking about, guys. This is what I'm talking about. If you look within this zone right here properly, you can see that this was a low right here, and this was a support level. This was the last support level that market created as of the point where it was at this area. And immediately market broke that level. What did it do? It came back to retest that level and gave a mini movement to the downside. At least this is a good number of pips if you're able to catch this move. And this is even on the 4 hours time frame. Right? And the buyers came in and they took the price back up. And now market is reacting to that zone again at this level. And that's why you can see this spike. That's why you can see this spike getting very, very massive. And if you check very well, this spike in this area was more than 300 pips as of yesterday. This move happened yesterday. This move happened yesterday. Okay, so what's our expectation on gold right now? And we're actually going to be analyzing this using all our conferences. We're actually going to be projecting the movements we're expecting in the market and how we're actually going to react to it. So let's go down to the 1 hour time frame. We also have some significant highs at this level. This is a significant high right here. When markets get to this level, you should actually be expecting some reactions as well. This is also a significant swing high. This right here is also a significant swing high. Let me delete this. Okay, okay. Let me just delete this. Okay, so let's go down to the 1 hour time frame. This also another significant. This is swing high. This is swing high. This is swing high. This is swing high. This is swing low. This zone as well is a swing low. This is swing low. This is swing low. This is swing low. So what are we basically expecting gold to do right now? Let's go down to the 1 hour time frame and look at and let's get familiar. Let's look at what is happening. What is happening presently? What is happening presently? What is happening presently? Now, if we if we were if we were to have immediately market came down to this level, and the market just came back to, you can see it gave an indication that what the sellers are now in the market for it to break this significant level. Because you can see the way as market was coming to this level, you can see the way market has just been doing what? You can see the way market has just been doing what? You can see the way market has been reacting. You can see the way market has been reacting to that level, like it was unable to break it below. It was unable to break that level below, right? But immediately it's broke. It means the sellers are now in the market and they're trying to take control. But when it was corrected, it wasn't supposed to break above this level again. So the market broke above this level. The market broke above this level is indicating that what the buyers are trying to get back into the market, and they are basically reacting. based off this zone right here. This previous support level that turned the resistance, and market is basically reacting to it again. Is making it another strong support level for the movement to the top side. Now, what is this? What's the ideology behind all this move right here? And you can see immediately this spike happened. What happened? We saw a break of a previous swing low that we had. We saw a break right here. We saw a break of this low that we had right here, meaning that what the market is strongly is changing its structure rather. The market is changing its structure to bullish trend. The market is currently what bullish, and now basically right here, another thing we should have expected was what for market to come back to retest this level and do what continue the movement to the top side. But now we are basically saying what consolidations. We are basically saying consolidations. This is what I'm talking about. So right here, we are supposed to have just seen something like this and the continuation to the top side. And we have a lot of significant levels for market to come up to. And this is just among them right here. I've been expecting market to buy up to this level. And there's a possibility of seeing that tomorrow because now the market is trying to change its trend to bullish trend. Because for a trend to change, yeah. Okay, let's be more practical now. Let's be more practical. In a downtrend, right? A downtrend is only valid when market continues creating what? Series of lower lows and lower highs. Now, let's say in this instance, market was unable to create a lower low, right? Market was unable to create a lower high, rather. So it was expected to create a lower high. But let's not say in the case where you see a break of this previous high right here, of this previous lower high right here, you now got to break, you now got a break like this. Now, this is a significant zone. This is not just anyhow zone. This was a this was a significant lower high. This is a lower high right here. I don't think I have to start typing that out again. This is a lower high right here. Immediately you got a break. And initially, what was market supposed to do for it to continue respecting the downtrend? It was supposed to create a lower high and do what? Continue the movement to the downside. But what do we see right here? We see a break of this previous lower high. And if this kind of thing happens, the chances are very high that market might just do what? Break a little bit, now break fully, retest this level, and continue moving to the top side. This is a very, very real market condition. This is something we see more often in trading. This is something we see more often in trading. This is something we see more often in trading. So this is the practical example of what is happening right here. Market was supposed to create what? A lower low. I've logged this. Okay. Market was not expected to do what? If market was going to continue the bearish movement, it wasn't supposed to break this lower high right here. It wasn't supposed to break this lower high right here, right? It was supposed to have just given something like this, yeah, and just continue the movement to the downside. But now we have a break. We have a break of this lower high, and that is automatically what shifting our mindset to doing what, expecting more bull runs. You can see the sellers are actually still trying their best to pull the market to the downside, but you can see as long as they are trying, the bulls are also getting into the market, and they're trying to what maintain the uptrend. They're trying as much as possible to do what to maintain the uptrend. Now, what's our own forecast now? What are we basically expecting now in this market? What are we expecting in this market? And what is our mindset? What should our mindset be focused on in this market? What should our mindset be focused on in this scenario? Now, on the 1 hour time frame, let's go to the 15 minutes time frame first before we actually round this up. I'm actually seeing a potential entry level that we should be expecting market to give us real move tomorrow. But let's go to the 15 minutes time frame. Let's go to the lower time frame. You see that we started from the higher time frame, started from the 4 hours, from the daily to the 4 hours, to the 1 hour, then 15 minutes. You get your entry on either 15 minutes or 5 minutes time frame. This is me just basically doing what? Explaining how I enter my trade and everything. Okay, so this is just us marking out significant highs and lows. And the main reason why we try as much as possible to mark out significant highs and lows on the lower time frame was what? Is because of what? It's basically because of the noise that goes on this lower time frame. But on the higher time frame, you see the markets clearly, you see real move. You see the markets clearly, you see the thousands of move on the lower time frame, you see the main candle on the higher time frame, and you're able to get what a quick understanding of what okay, market is trending top side, market is trending downside. But on the lower time frame, you keep seeing a lot of noise trending up and down, trending up and down. Do you understand? So now that we've been able to mark out these potential zones on our higher time frame, what should we be focusing on now? Now on the lower time frame, let me go back to the 1 hour time frame. I basically want to take my entry from the higher time frame, what I'm expecting market. So at this point, where should we be expecting our entry? Now that we know that market has tried as much as possible to change the structure to the top side to a bullish trend. Now we should basically be doing what? Be expecting a buy. Our mindset should automatically shift to what? A buy, because we already have a break of this top side. We already have a break of this lower high right here, of this swing high right here. So our mindset is automatically shifting towards to buys. And you can see, immediately we had a break. This is just a correction, and this correction is supposed to start rejecting from here normally, but just the way markets move sometimes. The correction ended up breaking this again. It didn't sustain it, came up to this level, and I'm going to draw up what I'm actually expecting on this market. In this market, rather, sorry. In this market, I'm going to draw it up for you right now. So it's time for us to actually introduce our what tool should we actually introduce right now? Our trend line. Our trend line. We've been able to get our support and resistance level. We've been able to get our swing highs and swing lows. Still the same thing. Our demand and supply level. We've been able to analyze the interaction between the buyers and the sellers, where the buyers are at, where the sellers are at, and as much as possible as and how the sellers are trying to put the market down and the buyers are trying to put the market up, and basically our projection. So now what are we basically expecting in this market move right here? And as of this morning, I saw an interesting pattern. One reason why I was saying it's better to actually focus on the other time. I saw an interesting pattern. The I saw an interesting pattern before the spike to the downside, which was at this level. I saw this I saw this pattern right here. Immediately after the break, I wasn't expecting market to break below this level again. So I got this W pattern right here. But what market started consolidating, the sellers trying to get in. And market consolidated and started selling. Why did market start selling from this area? Why? Basically because this is the 5 minutes time frame. Let me try going to the 15 minutes time frame. Give it to be more clearer. Okay. So why the market I got the W pattern at this area, but you can't see it clearly on the 15 minutes time frame. But market started selling because it got the reaction. It respected this level right here. It respected this level right here. Now this is swing low. This is swing low. And what did market do? Immediately it got to that level. It was initially supposed to start. Of course, you will expect markets, if it had broken above, then it should have just continued the movement to the top side immediately. But you see what? The sellers are still resting in that area. The sellers are still resting in this zone. And the spike we later had during the day, the sellers are still resting here. They are still resting here. I was able to get a W pattern around this area on the 5 minutes time frame, just like I showed you. But the buyers were unable to break this level because we had a lot of sellers resting in this area. We had the big boys resting in this area. And what did they do? They put the markets down. And the buyers came in again. And at the point where the buyers came into the market, what did they do? They didn't even play around at that level. They tried playing around. The sellers tried pulling them down again. And what did they see that happened? Immediately, market spiked above and broke that high. It broke this high. It broke this swing low. It broke this new created swing high right here because this was previously support level. At this point, it became a resistance level, right? It broke this resistance level, and then this supposed to do what? React and make this a support for the continuous movement to the top side. Sorry about that drawing here. So it's basically supposed to do what? To just do something like this, yeah, and react and continue the movement to the top side. But now, what's our expectation? Let's introduce our trend line now. How do we introduce our trend line now? Let's introduce our trend line now and mark out what we're actually expecting gold to do. And I'm going to be giving feedback. I'm going to be replacing another video of the outplay of this trade. And basically before entry, you need to see some candlestick confirmations and stuff before entering the position. So now let's bring in our trend line right here and try to understand. So we have two. Before you can draw your trend line, you need at least two lows before or two highs, two swing lows or two swing highs before you can actually draw your trend line. So we have two lows right here, and this is actually very, very valid. This is very, very valid. This trend line is very, very valid. This trend line is very, very valid. So we have this right here. Now this is very, very perfect. This is perfect. We now have the basic understanding that what market is bullish, is trying to change its trend to bullish, and we're already saying if you go to the lower time frame, you start seeing series of uh just right here, as you can see right here on the lower time frame, you start seeing series of what highs, lower high, higher high, lower high, higher high, lower high, higher high. And you can see we see this rejection as well. And the market got to this level, it's trying to consolidate. It's basically consolidating right here. We have no proper trend movement right here. So let's go back to the 1 hour time frame. So basically on the 1 hour time frame, I'm expressing this third touch of the trend line as the basis of my decision making. And I'm actually going to be giving feedback of this trade tomorrow. Feedback of this trade tomorrow. Let me try to reduce the opacity of this. I don't like the chart looking too thick or stuff. So okay. So this is actually way more better. At least you can still see the line clearly. So this is way more better. This trend line right here. Let me try to reduce the opacity a bit as well. Let me try to reduce the opacity a bit. Okay. This way more better. This way more, I just like my charts being this way. It looks looking more simple. So right here we have this move. We have this low. We have the first touch. Uh, that didn't go well. Okay. So right here we have the first touch, we have this rejection, we have the second touch, and now we're basically expecting market to give a third touch. The third touch might end up breaking this zone as well, but or it might even consolidating to giving us a perfect third touch right here. If we have a perfect third touch right here, you can see that the market will continue consolidating until it gets to this zone. And if it doesn't get to this zone, it can come down to this level right here. Retest this trend line, it will definitely retest that trend line. Retest that trend line. Let me cancel this. Let me draw this up again. So we have the first touch, we have the second touch, and we have the third touch coming up. The third touch might give us something like this, and you will see immediately markets gives us something like this. We're going to see some spikes, and market is definitely going to break this level. But depending on the outcome of the news tomorrow, because you can, depending on the outcomes of the news tomorrow, that will give us the basis of our decision making, whether US dollar will be stronger or weaker, or gold will be stronger or weaker. So if you have a break of this level right here, we might have a retest and continue movement to the top side. But basically tomorrow, when we have a third touch of this trend line and we see markets respect that level, we're definitely going to be seeing some real buy movements in the markets. We're definitely going to be seeing some real buy movements. You can start by targeting this high right here because this high is very, very significant. And just set your stop loss a bit below that trend line. Setting your stop loss right here is actually okay because this is just 66 pips. This is just 66 pips. And this is very, very okay. This is giving you about 3 to 7 over three days to reward. And you can even target a bit higher than this, giving you a 1 to 4 weeks to reward. 1 to 4 weeks to reward. Yes, this is actually possible. This is very, very much possible. So we should be expecting this kind of move tomorrow in the market. This is basically my view and my expectation for gold. My expectation for gold tomorrow. This is basically my expectation for XAUUSD tomorrow. So guys, that is all for today. I actually just wanted to share my basic idea and my outlook for tomorrow. And we have some news, and we should actually expect news with respect this level. If we, but tomorrow we'll be able to. I'll create another video tomorrow on the outcome on how this trade actually played out and the psychology behind it, just like I've shared. The interaction between the buyers and the sellers, the power tussle between them, and that will be all. Yeah. So thank you for your time. If you watch up to this end, make sure to smash the like button, make sure to subscribe and stick around, guys. Yes. See you. Thank you and God bless you.